1990. The town of Tebing Tinggi, North Sumatra. For most people, a river is a source of life. But for the locals living along the Sigiling River, it's a place where the veil between our world and theirs is dangerously thin. This is the story of Mawarman, a 26-year-old man who learned the hard way that some rules are just not meant to be broken. Mawarman was a hard worker. He did odd jobs during the day, and at night, he'd often hunt for fish and shrimp along the banks of the Sigiling River just to make ends meet. The village elders had warned him countless times. There was an unspoken rule.
Never stay at the riverbank after the sunset call to prayer, and whatever you do, never look back if you hear your name called from the water.
But Mawarman was a rational guy. He thought it was just cheap superstition meant to scare little kids. That night was Kliwon Thursday, the most sacred and terrifying night in the local calendar. The air felt heavier than usual. The wind was completely dead. Even the crickets and frogs that usually sang by the river were dead silent. Mawarman crouched on the muddy riverbank. His lantern sat next to him, casting an orange glow on the dark water. He was focused on fixing his fishing net when suddenly a scent hit him. At first, it was the heavy, sweet smell of jasmine flowers. It was so intense, it made his stomach turn. But seconds later, that floral scent mixed with something foul. It smelled like rotting mud and dried blood. Mawarman stopped working. He stood up, raising his lantern high, trying to pierce the darkness across the river. The bamboo trees on the other side stood perfectly still, like giant shadows. There was the sound of water breaking, about 30 feet to his right. Mawarman squinted. Under the faint moonlight, he saw ripples spreading. Someone or something was soaking in the shallows.
Who's there?
He started walking toward it. The thick mud went squelch, squelch, under his rubber boots. The closer he got, the colder the air felt. He could see his own breath, and that's when he heard it. Sitting there, with her back to him, was a woman with long, soaking wet, black hair. It clung to her pale back, covering the filthy white cloth she was wearing. She was looking down, scrubbing something against the surface of the water. "Miss, what are you doing out here so late?" Mawarman asked, his voice trembling. His mind was screaming at him to run, but his legs wouldn't move. He was paralyzed. That face is permanently burned into Mawarman's memory. It was bloated and pale, like she had been drowning for days. Her eyes were completely white, with no pupils at all, and the thing she was washing in the river wasn't clothing. It was a cane kafana, traditional burial shroud covered in red dirt and maggots. The woman grinned, revealing rows of black, jagged teeth, and let out a high-pitched, deafening shriek of laughter. Mawarman stumbled backward. The lantern slipped from his hand and shattered, plunging him into total darkness. He turned and ran for his life, but his foot caught on a massive banyan tree root jutting out of the ground. He face-planted into the wet mud, right at the edge of the river. Before he could push himself up, he felt something ice-cold wrap around his left ankle. It wasn't just one hand. There were 3 pale, skinny hands with long, filthy nails shooting out from under the surface of the Sigiling River, dragging him with impossible strength. Mawarman screamed hysterically. He dug his fingernails deep into the mud, fighting to keep himself from being pulled in. But the grip of those phantom hands was too strong. Slowly, his legs were dragged into the freezing water. Running on pure adrenaline and sheer terror, Mawarman started screaming every prayer he knew. He kicked wildly into the water. His right foot smashed into something hard beneath the surface. The grip on his left ankle loosened for just a fraction of a second. Without missing a beat, M'Warman scrambled up the muddy bank, leaving his boot behind in the dark water. He ran blindly through the woods, tearing through thorns and bushes, not caring that his skin was bleeding, until he hit the village road and collapsed unconscious on the village chief's porch. The villagers found M'Warman the next morning. He was burning up with a fever, talking out of his mind. It took a full week and the help of 3 local spiritual elders to pull him out of that supernatural trauma. But there was one thing that never healed. On M'Warman's left ankle, there was a dark bruise in the exact shape of long, bony fingers. A mark that never faded for the rest of his life. A permanent souvenir from whatever lives at the bottom of the Sigiling River. Since that night, M'Warman has never gone near running water after dark. Maybe the river near your house looks peaceful at sunset, but remember, still water hides a dark bottom, and sometimes, whatever is lurking in that darkness is just waiting for someone to drag down. So, are you still brave enough to walk by the river tonight?